Hey everyone, it's Kai from Cool Collectibles back again for another review. This time it's the Hot Toys MMS429 Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi. And it has been a very long wait for this figure. I think it released in Hong Kong back in June or July. I think Sideshow had it in stock from about August. Now our Australian distributor was meant to have it in August, and that got delayed until October, and then got delayed until the end of December, and luckily the stock came in a little bit earlier and was able to arrive before Christmas. But despite the long wait, I have to say, with the set and all of his accessories, it has been worth the wait. So I'll just quickly go through the packaging. As you can see, the usual Hot Toys style with the cover art on the left there and the card insert on the right, and you'll see the prototype photos there. There was a lot of discussion on the head sculpt, and of course the teeth showing through there. Now Mark Hamill did have that sort of look in the movie for quite a few scenes, going back on some screenshots in the movie itself. The final production head sculpt isn't too bad. I think it replicates the prototype pretty well. One aspect that I think it might have slightly changed is in the mouth area. It does seem a little bit more protruding than it did in the prototype photos. That gives it a bit of a fish mouth look, but from most angles it doesn't look too bad. But we will get a closer look in a second. But I'll just get the boxes out of the way and give you guys a closer look at the accessories. Right, first up is his Jedi cloak, and it's a very similar material to the Anakin Skywalker, so if you've got that previous figure you'll know what you're going to get. It does have a wire at the top here, which I think is probably a bit better than the Anakin wire. That one had a very wide hood, but this one here seems to be a bit more aligned with how we looked in the Jabba palace scene. So I think once you put that on, it'll look pretty good. I think there is a warning about the color bleed off onto the figure. So be careful how you place it around the head sculpt and the hands. People have dipped it in some water to sort of wash away the excess colouring. I'm not sure if I'll try that myself, but overall I don't think it's been too much of an issue for people. Also comes with the standard base, this time with the addition of the rear I guess piece for the Death Star look. If you want to have him pose next to Vader or something like that, standing on the Death Star, this piece is removable. You just sort of slide it out of these slots at the back there. I think it's fairly easy to do. It's not too tight. I think there you go. So you can just slide it off like that. Now it does come with a couple of swap out plates for the base. I'm not sure if these are stickers or not. I'm definitely not going to stick them over the top of this nice Death Star base, but for my display I'll probably have him in that iconic pose on the skiff. So this is probably the closest base that comes to that, and I think I'll just put it over there and then put the crotch grabber through there, and it'd probably stick fairly nicely. Or you could have him with the Tatooine sand, and I think this is probably more appropriate for the deluxe figure that they've announced coming out, where he's got the deleted scene accessories, where he's got the goggles and so on as he's walking through the sandstorm. So that might be a good option too. With this set it comes with his handcuffs from the last quarter or so of the movie, where he's being taken in by the stormtroopers. You can rotate these in this direction. They do have a warning, don't rotate or don't try to split them horizontally, but they do rotate just to allow his hands to cross over like that. And speaking of his hands, he does come with a whole bunch of swap out hands. So he does have mostly, or pretty much all, ungloved hands for his right hand. His lightsaber light up feature does have the gloved one. It would have been great if they had included a gloved hand holding that allowed the holding of the lightsaber without the light up feature, and I don't even think they fixed that in the deluxe version. The only other gloved hand they have is the fist. So you get a whole bunch of sort of gesturing hands, the force push, I guess a force gesturing type hand there. And then of course you get the battle damaged hand for where he got shot on the skiff, and the detailing on that is really nice. I like the burnt effect around the outside and the blood on the inside there. So nicely done by Hot Toys, and I think this is also included in the deluxe set. He comes with his blaster, which looks okay. Nice little sort of wood grain effect on the handle there, and there is that sort of silver wash to give it that weathered look. So a nice addition there. I don't think he's got a holster for it though. He comes with, if I can focus, the lightsaber blade, and I guess the swishing effect. So you can grab his lightsaber here, which is nicely painted as always, nice and clean, and it does have that little metal thing that you can put on his hook on his belt, and all you do is insert it at the top there, so you can have his swishing effect, which I'm not sure it looks that great, to be honest. I definitely won't be using it. I'm not sure if I've seen many other collectors use it either. And this one you can also put in there, and of course with the light up feature you can insert it into the light up blade, which is very tight. But I might just turn off one of the lights here, and you flick that switch and you get that light up effect, which is quite nice. So there it is off. So it does make quite a bit of a difference. I'm not sure I'm even going to bother putting this arm on. By all accounts from other collectors that I've spoken to and seen on YouTube, the putting this on through the arm has been an absolute pain in the ass, and so I'm not even going to bother. I don't think I've used the light up arm on any of my figures at all. I hate having to try and remove the batteries and so on and worry about leakage, and so I'll definitely just have him with the battle damaged hand holding the lightsaber like so. And I think that's pretty much all the accessories. So let's get on to the figure. Alright, so here is the figure. I'll just give a quick up and down. And as you can see, he stands perfectly fine without a stand. The ankle joints are really nice and firm, and you can articulate the ankles. They've done a much better job of the Jedi boots, or those leather type boots that have been used on this figure and past ones like Han Solo, and I think Obi-Wan might have had something similar, and Tarkin as well, but I think for this one and Tarkin they've actually done a much better job, but we'll get to that shortly. Of course, a big talking point of all the figures from Hot Toys in the human, I guess with a human head sculpt, is the sculpt itself. And front on, I don't think it's too bad. The hair, I guess, is more aligned with the way he looked at the end of the movie. I much prefer the windswept one for the deluxe version, but just sort of rotating around, I think from certain angles it looks very, very accurate to Mark Hamill. I'm not sure if it's you know, from certain side angles and so on, he's not too bad, from a slight 45-degree angle. But as I was saying before, the mouth does seem like it's protruding out a little bit more than the prototype photos, which looked very good. But I do like the skin tone, the skin texture. Hot Toys is so far above the competition in that regard around skin texture and paint application that I don't know how the others are going to catch up. Even some of the more recent releases from the likes of Asmus and so on in Sideshow just don't have that same level of quality. In particular as well, the hair sculpt. They do the finest stranding on hair sculpts, Hot Toys, and as you can see there, the stranding is really, really nice. The paint application on the hair again is probably the one area where they really should improve. This one does have that same sort of bronzed look to it. There's no, would have been nice if you had a bit of blonde tips or more variation in the color as opposed to the same sort of bronze brown look, but I guess that's a pretty minor nit to pick. I think everyone knows by now that this hairpiece is removable, and I don't, oh, there you go, there's a pretty strong magnet on there, and I think the instruction book even talks about this removable feature for future accessories and so on. And I guess everyone was expecting them to announce the accessory pack, which they haven't, all they've done is announce the Endor version as a separate figure, and then the deluxe version that has both head sculpts and the windswept hair and so on. And I guess the difference with the second head sculpt is it's the same sculpt as this one, but the eyes are looking to his right. So I'm not sure why they did that. I guess it was just a point of difference. But for that scene where he's on the skiff holding the lightsaber, his eyes are looking straight ahead, so I'll definitely be using this head sculpt with that windswept hair. But again, nicely done with that sort of swap out feature, and you can put the Endor helmet on as well with that feature. But onto the outfit, there is, as always with these Hot Toys figures, the tailoring is pretty damn good. Now, people were saying that because of the fat suit underneath the figure, he does look a little bit too fat. Now, I think with the Jedi robes on, it's harder to notice that. So when he's in this sort of setup here, you don't really see too much of that fat suit. Now, the belt, I think on the Jedi skiff, he doesn't have this belt. I think the only scene where he's got the Jedi robes on and this belt is towards the end, where he's talking to Leia at the Ewok village. And so I think on the skiff he has this belt off, and I think it's just velcroed on there, so you can just undo the velcro there and then take that off. If I just move that out the way, and I'll give you a closer look at the belt. So it's the nice sort of fake leather. I do like the pouch there, and just be very careful with these buttons. I think they do give a few spares. They've been pretty good at doing that these days, Hot Toys, but you do need a little bit of craft glue or something like that if one of those do fall off, and it's always hard to get them exactly where you want them. But the weathering on there on the buckle there is pretty nice, and I do prefer the way they use the velcro, so that's nice. But of course the sash that he's got on there, I think that's also velcroed at the back, so you can adjust it a little bit lower, and I might just adjust it a bit lower so it doesn't look like he's it would look like he's a bit more proportioned, I think, if that belt was just a little bit lower. And I think that's the way he looked on the Jabba skiff, where they were battling at the Sarlacc pit. So for whatever reason he didn't have his belt at that time, but he had the sash, and I think you can take it all off. So if I just do that now, I think this is all velcroed at the back as well, so just be careful how you undo that. Just peel that away like so, which is nice, and then you can take that sash off, and then you can then take these robes off. So I think everything, you can sort of see the belt line there, so I think you can just take that sash off and reveal his Death Star outfit there. So I'll just do that off camera and get back to you guys. Hold on. So here is his Jedi robe vest thing taken off. I love the material. It's like a very thin, it's I'm not sure how they got those that texturing in there, but it looks really nice. It's a sort of greyish colour that stands out against the black of the rest of his outfit, and I think it's very accurate to the movie. I'm not sure how they select these materials, but again, Hot Toys just does a great job with the tailoring and the selection of their materials. So you see the collar at the back all the way around. It's just very nicely done. The core outfit itself is here, so you see the full black of his battle, or the end duel with Vader. Now this bit here I think is just on a magnet or something like that at the top, and then you can just fold it down if you wish, like so, to have that look at the end of the movie. But for me, I'll just have it sitting like that with his Jedi robe on. I guess the tailoring in this section here could have been a little bit better. It does look a little bit funny, I guess, with I guess once you put the belt on it, it might not look too bad. But I guess I have seen some customs where the tailoring around the shoulders here is a bit more movie accurate, I guess. But overall, unless you're nitpicking, you really wouldn't notice too much of a difference. I mean, the only way I knew the difference was looking at some of the screenshots and comparisons over on the Sideshow Freaks forum. But futzing around, I wouldn't bother removing the fat suit. I think if you sort of pull his pants down a little bit, and then futz around with how you want him looking across this section here and posed upright, I think it does look pretty good. I think the pants here, I think there might be some sort of padding, or like he might have some sort of boxer short thing happening with the pants area and the groin area here. So just be mindful on how you sort of adjust that. I don't think that might actually be one whole piece instead of being tucked in there. So you can see that mine is sort of skewed off to one side, which doesn't look that great, to be honest. So I think you might be able to just adjust the suit here. So if I try to adjust the suit and the pants to move that way and center it, it'll definitely look a lot better. But I think the fat suit is causing that movement a little bit of problems. But other than that, because I'm not going to have him displayed like that, I'm not going to worry about it too much. Articulation wise, I don't think the pants restrict too much. Oh, actually, because the pants are a bit tight, and it all looks like one piece, it does look like it's restricting a little bit. That's as far as I can get it before it starts getting and feeling very tight. There are double jointed knees, of course. The boots here are beautifully done. I think the way they've padded it out, or at least tailored the boots here to not have that ankle collapsing, is much better than the original figures they had with Han Solo and so on. So there's no wrinkling at the back here, and it doesn't sort of affect the articulation, so you can get a lot of ankle rocker action to make him, I guess if you can get him into some wide poses and have his feet flat on the ground, he will look quite nice. And I guess the arms don't look like they're too restricted. I was having a bit of trouble before moving this arm forward, but it's not too bad now. So just be careful on how you hold the joint, and you'll be fine. And of course he does have the double jointed elbows, which is great for his poses with the lightsaber. But that's pretty much it. Be careful on ever getting these boots off, because it'll be near impossible to get the pants back in there, I think. And you can see that mine has a few folds in there, so I might try to loosen up the pants area a bit, give him a bit more freedom of motion, to not make the pants so tight, and try and adjust it so that it's centered a bit more. But other than that, the outfit isn't too bad, and the figure itself, I guess, with all the standard articulation in a Hot Toys True Type body, you'll probably be able to get him into most poses that you're looking to get him into. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully you like that quick look at this Hot Toys Luke Skywalker figure. I am pre-ordering the deluxe version that comes out pretty much in about 9 or 8 months time, so they've given themselves plenty of time to get to that point. But hopefully you can click that like and subscribe button, and stay tuned for my other couple of reviews coming up. I do have the remaining 2 Masterpiece figures coming for the rest of the year, and that will probably be it for 2018. So hopefully you can subscribe and stay tuned for that. Thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.